So I normally, basically direction channels. I'm going to do things like, review things that I find, talk about different gems. And today I'm going to do something that I normally never do. I'm going to basically do unboxing of jars. The reason I don't do jars, and these are from the Salvation Army. These are like, this one's like a $8 jar. And this one's a $15 jar. And these are from Indiana. Is because you can see some stones and a ring with changeable rings, is because I have to throw things away. Now I have someone who is going to put these in gift boxes, and some things are going to be donated back because I don't do that. And it's like gambling. I only usually buy things if they're a sure bet. Another thing is I'm going to show you things that I got today from another thrift store that are a sure bet. Now this is a mix of red coral and basically dyed blue coral and turquoise, and it has a silver clasp, and it's a nice little necklace. And here is a nice little pearl necklace and a cat's eye silver necklace, and has a nice and a basically a basic and a quartz and silver clasp necklace. I spent a little over $6 on these altogether, on these 4 necklaces altogether. So I get good prices, and I hunt very carefully and pay very carefully. Now I can get, just by spending a little more, I can get one piece, and I can get very, very nice stones on a pendant that'll blow you away, or in earrings, or spend 3 or 4 times that and get a very nice ring. And this is what we're going to go more with the focus. I don't go, I really don't fit into any category like some of the other topics we've touched. And we're going to see. I picked these jars because I could see a few things on the outside. I could see some lapis, I could see some silver, I could see some stones, I could see some real pearls from these jars. Who knows what else we'll find. So let's put this on the table. Let's get a little closer. I can see some total junk in here. Right off the top, I can see that this is a crappy costume watch. Actually, this might be like a Fitbit fake type smartwatch. It says genuine leather, but it's not. So we'll put this over here. Let's see what this is. Faux pearls and fake silver. It's obvious when they mold the pearl this way. It's trying to make it look like it's real in the end, and it's not. It's, real pearls, they have a certain weight to them. It's heavier, and it has a certain feel to it, and luster. Now these earrings, is this a bracelet? Okay, there's some dingling. And when people donate personal things, this always saddens. This is somebody's baby or grandbaby pictures. It's always important to check something like this, because they could have possibly done this in gold. And we do not know the story, but it is not. It's just way too light. So this goes over here. That could be emptied out. Now these types of studs a lot of times will be silver. Not studs, but hoop earrings. and they will a lot of times be marked on the stems of these. So I'm looking for little scratches, but these kind of have a plate-like feel and consistency, so I don't think they are. And when these are like fake rhinestones on the ends, so these are not gonna be. But there are things stuck, so I'm looking. See if there's anything else stuck on these. Nope. So we're gonna put these over here. You know, I don't do costume. A lot of people make good money off of it. I don't make money off of this stuff, per se. But something like this, if you look carefully at it, sometimes it could be a collectible brand or vintage because of the way it's made. That could have a pair. If I find it, I'll stick it over there. Something like this could be, especially if it's like a bug or an animal, because this is a ladybug bracelet. Also, just make sure it's not dirty gold, because a lot of times gold will get dirt on it. Because it has like an art type glass or an agate type thing, but it's not the kind of thing. This one was not as promising. There are a few nice pieces of stone in here, and that was it. This, I would look careful at these pieces on here, because this is stone on this one. This is costume. It could be vintage though. Someone might want it, I don't. This looks like it was made by someone. It might have been. Yeah. This is just dyed very well. That's all. That's costume. You can kind of tell just by the way dyed pieces wear, and when you move around the light, you can see how it pulls off or on. Because it's like how a paint job, you know, ages over time. Yeah, this is older costume. It's just not doing well. Same thing. Kind of see that. You know, I think about, for me, is about like the real jewelry. A lot of this stuff. I think these are glass, faux glass pearls. They're knotted. They have the weight of real pearls. But the way they're wearing around, the way they're wearing, and I'm sure you'll find like where it wears through in the luster, if you look carefully enough, they just don't seem to have the same kind of luster. Because if you hold these up like against a real pair of real pearls, and like you start putting them against each other, you'll just notice they're just not the same. They just have a different look to them when you start putting them up against different lusters. It's not even. Yeah. All right. Boy, if this was real, you'd be hit the jackpot. And sometimes, like this piece, I'm gonna go through this more carefully, because sometimes people will save good clasps to good pieces of jewelry because they're gold and they fell off with something nice. So I'm gonna look at that more carefully later. I don't really do metals, but we'll see. Carefully pull this piece out. Now, what do we have here? This could be a nice piece. Oh, wow. This I'm definitely going to look at more carefully, because this says, this is Mark Sterling. Oh, wow. And I'm going to test this, because this looks like it's Mexican, like colored. This might be dyed. This looks like it's dyed jade, like a dyed jade bracelet. And they made a lot of this stuff like in Mexico. This is a cool piece. That right there paid for that whole jar. That's probably a $50-$80 piece. Easy. It could be more. I'd have to look that one up. But just as a silver bracelet, that's a $40-$50 bracelet. And if those are jade, it's at least 80. Oh, there's a sterling pendant here. Oh, there's a necklace that goes with that. It's also a sterling necklace. A jade necklace. And it's a set. So now, now that jar is paid for a few times over. This is just a stainless steel bracelet. It's crap. This could be completely fake. It just looks like a hoop earring. But this is very well made. So I'm going to check this out. It's just extremely well made. Oh, I see a silver clasp. Let's see if I can get it out. Silver bracelet. Oh, and it has something on it. It looks like a garnet. Oh, more garnets. Or they're sapphires. I can't really see well in this light, the color. Maybe you can. And then I could test them later with a Presidium tester. My Presidium tester. But there's definitely a stamps on them there. $925, so China, so it's going to be gold over silver. There's a lot of sapphire producing areas in Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, so them having low-grade sapphires that are natural is not far-fetched at all, even in China itself. So, yeah, that's nothing surprising there. So a lot of times, a lot of their stuff is legit. In fact, a lot of the really great peridot are coming from China right now. Is this real? It looks like it could be. I'm trying to find a mark. I might have to check these later. They just look silver. So I'm going to set these aside and check later, because they look to be correct in every way. They have the right weight, feel, patina, and the light that I can see from off the video. This chain looks suspiciously correct. I want to be very careful with it. So you might not be able to see it, but it looks like this looks very suspiciously gold. And I don't want to break it. So you may not find out with me or not. This, I saw this. This looks kind of coral-esque. Nope, those are not natural. Because those look kind of like, through the jar, they look like they could have been uncut diamonds. Nope, these are not lab diamonds, they're just CZ. Another bummer there. That's just a disappointing quartz watch. These I will check later too to see if there's silver. As I can tell by looking at all that stuff that it's going to be just one of those things that's going to take time. Now, is this gold? It has a lot of the key things that would tell me it might be. Let me look in the loop. I sure hope my battery lasts long enough to read through this. Do I get this? Light. More light. Must have more light. Darn, it's just gold filled. I can tell you they're lying about the kind of gold that they put in there because it says it's 12 karat gold filled. And there's no way that they made a special cat. So my guess is this is 10 karat gold. This is probably just 10 karat gold plated. I think that's a piece of, I think this is a piece of jade that is kept like a chakra crystal in there, and then this is actually sterling chain. So this is probably something that someone would actually keep. Someone would actually keep for good luck. Color 2. They like to use the white gold too because white gold is typically rhodium colored. There is no exception because white gold is just very light colored yellow gold that they have rhodium plated. Yeah, this isn't even like a valuably desired crystal. And I hate it when this one. See, I hate it when people. See, what I hate is when people get like they don't even buy like gems on home shopping network that people are like looking for. They buy like ones that they buy like some type of quartz or something, and they know it is. It's like nobody's gonna want that. Like that's what was it? Literally, it was in that case. Like who would want this watch? Like people buy like on Amazon and stuff. But sometimes you find things in the weirdest places. I don't know. Somebody might want this. I mean, I have like real expensive jewelry. I have like 14,000 pieces. You know, I have things that for my wife to sell. I have natural blue diamonds that have boron in them, which means that they're not irradiated. You know, in jewelry and stuff. But I just they're women's pieces that I just happenstanced upon, and you know, things like that. And I decided to save a small percentage of things that, for me, that you know, I'm just having her sell, and then I'm adding some pieces to it now because I'm trying to give her trying to create a small business for her. So I'm starting to assemble it. And this is a part of what I'm doing here. So she'll probably list a few things and then maybe find auction partners for things that are, you know, things that are less than a few $1,000s in individual value, or, you know, or above that, depending on what it is. Some things, you know, you just have to go to large auction houses to sell. This one, I'm not sure this goes with this, or it does or not. So this one I really have to look at, because this key doesn't seem to match the metal of this. And I'm wondering if this is like 9 karat or 8 karat, this key, because low karat gold can tarnish. And the smith work of those two pieces just doesn't match, neither does the weight. And you have low karat gold in Europe that's exists. Yeah, this is boring, but it is kind of interesting. Now this one is silver, and this is selenite. So this one you could put in a lot, or you could sell in a box, and someone could get $5 for it, because it's got a silver case, silver clasp, it's got a stone on it. It probably sold for $10 today. This key looks like it's real silver to me. And they do make these dog tag kite type key things, chains that are made out of silver, but it's not marked. So I'm going to have to look at that. I just cannot tell you here. I don't know. That's always a good answer if you don't know something. You don't have to be if anything, this might be scrap, so we'll set that there. And we'll put this here. And we'll put this over here. And we'll put these over here. And we will go to the giant jar. And we will try to go make short work of this giant jar. There's one thing in here that actually I find okay, I don't even know what this thing is, so I'm going to defer to someone else. Maybe you know what this thing is. Does anybody know what this is? Some kind of Dungeons and Dragons game that you wear on a necklace or something? I'm not into that kind of thing. Isn't that game that World of Warcraft and birth control game, or whatever they call it? So we have this table over here. You know, this is a kind of a cool bracelet. I don't know if it's anything real, but I think I'll hold on to it. I just think it's kind of cool. Well, you know what? I see nothing in here that's real. So we'll get rid of that. Interesting craftsmanship, though. Uh-oh. We have casualties. We have 4 men down. 5 men down. We'll grab them. Alright, we got 2 earrings, a necklace. Drop these beads off. Got it. So this thing is huge. All right. All right. So when it comes to these earrings, we're gonna have to look at them later because I cannot tell you if they're keepers or not. This chain that fell on the floor is silver. It's a nice one of those. It's either one of the later China ones or it's made in India. Unfortunately, the clasp part is broken off. So unless I can find it, it's scrap. But it is silver. So we're going to keep that for now. In here, which is the first part of the pile, we got a nice Seiko watch. It's unfortunately a Seiko quartz. You know, we'll keep it. You know, maybe I'll just stick a battery in it and work on it. Maybe, maybe not. It says it's a Seiko diver. I don't know if that's true. Might be one of those fake ones people were buying on Wish before they caught them. Oh, this is nice. It's a quartz. It's a quartz Gucci watch. This could be resold. See? Gucci. I always think Gucci, you know, most of their fashion stuff is overpriced, but it's a Gucci watch. So we'll put that, we'll keep this one for now. So there's some good stuff in here. We'll keep going. I find more stuff, better stuff sometimes, but I use different methods and it's not as fun. It just takes more time consuming and there's less dumping stuff. This is probably worth some money. It's vintage and it has a brand name, but I just don't know how you would sell this. So I'm going to put that over there. This looks silver, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Neat, simple design though. These are like just like some seed jewelry. Yeah, just seed jewelry. Just a lot of seed jewelry. This looks like it might be coral. I'm going to move it carefully because it's very thin. Yeah, this is a thin coral chain. This coral stuff is expensive because it's restricted and it's very popular in parts of Asia where there's a lot of money. It's true that China is not as, but the Chinese, there's a lot of money among the Chinese, just not as much money within the Chinese government anymore. The Chinese people themselves are very smart when it comes to money. Yeah, we'll keep that. They think ahead. This is well made, but this feels like it's got to be worth something. This has a very African feeling. It has a bell. It feels old. I think I will set this aside. I will need another place to put things that I keep. And I will have to look these aside. Those rubber things. These are just the stuff you get when you go to the islands. So we will need to dump more stuff out. These are costumey. Not real. Yeah, this might be something interesting. It's a Swiss automatic gold watch on a chain that might be marked gold with European markings. But it also could just be one of those 80s things. I'm trying to retrieve it, trying to free it up. And I'm trying to see if I can turn the movement without messing it up. It's turning. So that means it's working. I'll be a son of a... And it's shield shaped. It's kind of unique. And if it actually turns out to be solid gold, which it probably isn't because it doesn't have a sapphire, because this is not a sapphire crystal, but if it did, because it still probably is worth, it still is probably worth, good 30 to 50 bucks because it's a uniquely shaped one. I mean, these are usually always round or square. It also has that very distinct Swiss sound. You put because for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because of that shield shape, if it helps the acoustics, but when you put your ear up to it, it just makes that very distinct Swiss, that Swiss sound that you want to hear when you listen to a Swiss movement. People that have some Swiss watches, and you hear a Chinese watch or a Japanese watch or a Hong Kong movement, and all these different watches, you know what I'm talking about. When you take the back off, it's not going to be a Japanese spring. That the screws aren't going to be blue. When you hear that sound, it's going to be a beautiful Swiss movement. Yeah, these are just springs. Yeah. Scratched. Oh, this has got to hurry up somehow. There's just so much of this stuff. That's silver. Well, it was kind of a little bit longer play, so this is kind of the end result. We cleaned up a little bit after a big mess. And here's kind of what we got done. Here's the jade piece with the sterling silver, the Swiss watch chain, some of the gold pieces, the silver. We got some studs with some stones. We got a ring with some interchangeable rings. We got some big, no, not bad for a big $15 jewelry jar. And we got a lot of different things going on here. We got this cool pendant here with the crystals. Not bad at all, not bad at all, not bad at all. We got a lot of scrap. We got a lot of gold, a lot of silver, a lot of unique pieces going on here.